What's up, everybody? I'm Danny Wexelman. Welcome to Perfect Game Weekly, presented by Rawlings, your home for all things amateur baseball. We're all over the map today, but I promise you we'll have the most fun you've ever had in your entire life, or we'll try to anyway. We'll start with a 20-year-old from New Jersey who grew up a Yankees fan and is now their #1 prospect. Then we'll have a conversation with a 16-year-old from Hawaii who's doing everything he can to make sure that high school is not the last stop on his baseball journey. And we're gonna go to hit school with a shortstop from Georgia who happens to be the #1 player in the country in the class of 2022. But first, we'll start in Panama City Beach and the Junior College Classic. We told you about this event 2 weeks ago, and it's 16 of the best JUCO teams in the country in a season opening tournament. This one didn't disappoint. We had wall-to-wall coverage all weekend long. So let's get it started and send it down to Daron Sutton in Florida.
Thank you very much, Danny. This event has been and continues to be incredible. At the end, JUCO alum Tim Redding and, of course, national cross-checker Brian Sakowski. I think the best thing about this event has been the collection of athletes. And Brian, just one thought in this opening segment. You've got 7 states, you've got multiple JUCO World Series champions, you've got Texas, you've got Illinois, a ton of the Southeast. What'd you take away?
I think my biggest takeaway, Sud, is that if you didn't watch the Chipola Northwest Florida State game last night, you missed, I think, what will be the best game in college baseball this year, all of college baseball. It'd be hard-pressed for me to imagine a better game.
All right, we'll talk about that one. What did you take away?
Just a collection of talent from all these teams. The arms that were out there, the bats, guys were coming out squaring up 95, 94, and the 4th, 3rd, 5th game of the season. I mean, it was amazing to watch. It's a pleasure to be here. Being a JUCO bandit myself, I didn't know JUCO baseball was still alive and well, but it is very alive and well in the United States. And all the international players are starting to come over, and this is their gateway into college baseball.
Hitters, here we go. You've picked a man from Michigan, from Florence Darlington. Noah Stout, your first hitter.
Yeah, Noah Stout's a guy I've seen for a while. He's a Michigan guy. I'm a Michigan guy. I watched him play in high school growing up. Originally went to Clemson. Now he's at Florence Darlington, not too far from Clemson. But really stood out with the bat this weekend. He led off for the team. He's a strong and physical left-handed bat. He hit a home run. He's hit for some extra bases. He can run. I think he's a really good player who, on a big stage, performed well.
I'm always amazed when a man makes a choice to go like from the Northwest somewhere else. That's what Cole Fontenelle did, the corner infielder from Washington to
McLennan.
Yep.
McLennan, yes. He, the third baseman, he started his career at Washington, but yes, Fontenelle hit a home run. Again, big physical right-handed bat, a guy with power, a guy we saw make some really athletic plays at third base. He's a shortstop by trade. Guys who can play third, not just stand there, but actually defend with value at third and hit for power, very sought after.
You've been watching, you scouts have been watching Kevin Karstetter for a while. He now is here. He was at IMG. You're impressed with what you saw?
Yeah, he had the biggest first day of anybody. Hit a home run, fell a single short of the cycle, double and a triple. A guy with a lot of power, a guy we've always been high on the hit tool. That has been the part of the profile that we've always believed in. This kid can hit, but now as he's grown into some more power, he's a little bit more athletic in the infield. He can play a couple more spots. The profile is definitely taken off.
May I throw in Ethan Lizama?
Absolutely.
Because he went from Guam to San Diego to play high school baseball at East Lake. Now he found this city, Florida Gulf Coast, and this is an incredible story. How did he hit?
He looked great. The swing is loose, it's athletic, it's whippy. He made good swing decisions. He wasn't blown up by velocity. We saw him hanging in against tough arms. We saw him hanging in against off-speed stuff. The body projects, the swing is loose. There's a lot to like about what he's going to end up being in the future.
Tim, you ready to talk pitching?
Absolutely, let's go.
How about Reed, Garland, Flodar? Kind of different than some of the other guys, which were way up the mountain velocity-wise. You liked him, though.
Yeah, I loved Reed Garland. I mean, I'm a power guy. I was a power guy, so I have a special place in my heart for those radar readings of 95 plus. But Reed Garland, down 7-0 early, trying to get some zeros on the board, trying to help his team fight back into it. Gave his team 4 solid shutout innings without giving up an earned run. Struck out a couple, walked 1. But he just pitched 81-90 with his fastball. Nothing electric, nothing special. Mixed in his off speeds. Started hitters off soft, finished them hard. Pitched hard, finished them with breaking balls. I mean, just a great job.
Magnus Ellerts was an 80s guy in high school. He's no longer an 80s guy. Though the 80s was a great decade, he's at Florida Southwestern. Magnus, great name. What'd you see?
Unbelievable name. He made the all Madden team for names this weekend. Big presence on the mound, big frame. I think over 6'4", 6'5". Just power arm. We're getting into the power names here now. 90, 93, 94, sitting in the low 90s this early in the season with as cold and rainy as it was. Just a huge presence out there. He rough in the beginning, trying to locate, find that fastball. He started touching on his sliders a little bit, found the zone, and just did a great job. He kind of bent but didn't break. He didn't give up any runs, had some walks, but he never gave that team a chance to score.
Well, Karsten's is huge. He's 6'7". He's at McLennan. He pitched in the JUCO World Series last year. He's committed to go to Coach Johnson at OU. What'd you see?
They're going to get a great arm at OU. I mean, this guy is somebody to watch. He goes out there, sets the tone early, power on power. He is not afraid to give the old number one when he needs to, and that's his go-to. He's going to sit there and fire that ball over the plate. He's going to challenge hitters. Tough situations, needs that out. He's going to go with the old number one, and it was electric. He was mid-90s also.
Jake Madden, Northwest Florida, Kenyon Huggins on the other side from Chipola. That's the matchup he was talking about as one of the best college baseball games. Heck, the coaches were calling it after the game. You take either one, you take both. Tell us about those two pitchers.
Yeah, Brian was hyping this matchup up all day, and it worked out for us. We couldn't have been any luckier. I mean, to be honest, it was like watching Scherzer versus Kershaw in an NLCS type matchup. It was fastball for fastball. It was power against power. I mean, it was 1-0 going into the 7th inning. And both of these guys, we talk about 93s, 92s, 94s. These guys were touching 97, 96 in the first 2 innings of this game. And a cool night over, clear. Just the very first pitch was unbelievable, the excitement. I mean, it was a College World Series atmosphere, but both of these guys are names to watch for the entire season. Follow up on them. Like I said, they're going to be electric.
Yeah, we had a blast here. It was cool. One of the rare couple of days of the year that it is cool. Panama City Beach. You've done it again. You hosted an incredible event. This complex was epic. It was a lot of fun to be here. We were honored. Danny?
Sut, thanks a ton. If you missed any of the coverage from the tournament, we got you covered. How else would this season opening JUCO tournament end in anything but a thriller? Florida Southwestern third baseman Paul Winland crushed 2 homers and drove in 4 as the Buccaneers edged Northwest Florida State College 8-7 in the championship game on Sunday. What an amazing event. And speaking of amazing, we have to give a shout out to one of PG's tournament directors, Corey Hall. We asked all of the scouts before the tournament to give their picks, and Corey, in a word, was perfect. He went 15 for 15, and there's no word yet on whether or not Corey went out and bought himself a lottery ticket that week as well. When we return, the Yankees' #1 prospect, Anthony Volpe, will join us here. This is Perfect Game Weekly, presented by Rawlings. Welcome back to Perfect Game Weekly, presented by Rawlings. I am so excited to bring in our guest, Anthony Volpe, a gem in the Yankees organization, someone I was able to cover before his draft. Anthony, welcome to the show. How are you?
No, I'm great. Thanks so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here virtually.
You are actually at a Yankees minicamp right now down in Tampa. So I kind of want to hear what's been going on with that. Paint me a picture.
No, it's been awesome. It's pretty much been definitely a little more laid back than full on spring training, but just to be in the building this early compared to, last year when we weren't allowed really back in the complex until the first day of spring training. It's been awesome. Kind of getting out of the cold weather in the Northeast and getting on a dirt field every day, getting to work with all the amazing coaches we have. Stuff like that has been really, really beneficial, I think, to be down here this early.
You're a Jersey kid. You grew up a Yankees fan. You played high school baseball with Jack Leiter, and you had the choice, right? You could go and sign with your dream team, or you could go and play with your dream college, and you made the decision to sign with the Yankees. It looks like it all worked out, but Anthony, how did you make that decision ultimately when you look back? And do you feel like it was harder than you thought it was going to be?
I was definitely very fortunate to have such a win-win situation. I think looking back, just the ability to have the opportunity to one day be on the Yankees and get your foot in the door and just train and have such great coaches at my disposal and great facilities, stuff like that. I think it's helped me a lot on the baseball field, but then also off the field too, just being around all the great guys that we have. It's been a great experience so far.
You had a monster 2021 season. You were in low A and then high A, and the numbers that you put up obviously caught the attention of a lot of people, especially your own organization. What kind of development has happened since I saw you back in 2018?
Obviously, COVID shut down and not having a season. In that moment, like when you're not playing and you kind of lose sight of like, what are you getting ready for? What are you really preparing for? I kind of just saw a lot of things I had to work on my game, and I figured it was as good as time as ever to just slow everything down, break stuff down, and really like get to work on this stuff that, you know, in the course of a season, you don't really want to work on that stuff because you're always getting ready for a game. So I thought I was able to really work on my swing. I was lucky enough to get hooked up with some really good hitting coaches back in the Northeast, and then obviously the Yankees helped out virtually. But I really attribute, I guess, a lot of the stuff that happened last year to the work that went on during COVID.
Yeah, and everybody's talking about it. And with the lockout that's going on, there's obviously a lot of rumors flying. People, I think, have too much time on their hands right now. Anthony, your name has been trending on Twitter. I've seen it. I've been talking to your mom, and there are some trade rumors out there, hefty trade rumors. But I wanted to know if you feel like maybe it's an honor to have your name floated out there as such a high prospect, the number one in the Yankees organization, just to have your name floated out there and being recognized and having a reputation already throughout Major League Baseball for all the work that you've already put in.
Yeah, I guess it's definitely an honor and definitely awesome to be recognized as that. But I guess the way I think of it kind of is just like when I was training really hard in the off season during COVID and everything like that, none of it was for this. None of it was to have a nice title or something like that. It was always to just get better and be the best player that I could be, because at the end of the day, like whether you're the number one prospect or the number 30 prospect, you want to be the best big leaguer you can be. And that's just how I kind of went about everything during COVID, everything this off season, everything that we did today. It's just to get better every single day and just be the best player, hopefully down the road that I can be.
The Yankees have the rich history. They play under the brightest lights in the biggest place. And I know that you've dreamt about your debut. I know you've thought about that moment, but what is it about this team and playing for such an historic franchise that excites you the most?
I think, yeah, obviously, like gives you goosebumps to think about, but I like the simple stuff. I just think it's the guys that you're with every single day, the guys that are living with us here in Tampa and just going out every day. It's kind of what I didn't realize that I missed so much over COVID was just being in the clubhouse, going out to eat after games, stuff like that. And I think not having it and then getting back in the flow of everything last season really made you appreciate little stuff like that. And I think on one day, if a couple guys made it, and I mean, when we're here this time of year, stuff like that, you see how hard guys work and how much they care about it. So just making it with the guys that we've kind of been in it for a full season and then hopefully a couple more years here, I think that would make it really, really special.
The last one I have for you is your draft class that was so stacked, and we got a chance to see you guys with the national team. And we're talking about CJ Abrams, Bobby Witt Jr., Pico Armstrong, Riley Green, you, and so many more. And you guys are creating this buzz about what it looks like to see this next generation of guys. But what can fans expect? Because your draft class is incredible. I'm excited for you, but what are you excited about?
I'm excited to see everyone again. You know, it felt like over that summer we were with each other every weekend, pretty much the whole summer, and then obviously Team USA we were with each other 24/7. But you get to see a couple guys here and there, I guess. But hopefully when everyone's playing the same league, doing the same stuff, everyone will be able to reconnect and get together that way. So that's, I guess, what I'm looking forward to the most.
I can't thank you enough for your time, Anthony. Tell your family I said hi, please. The best family. I'm excited to watch this year, and I'm excited to see what you can do in the game. So thanks for spending some time with me.
No, thanks so much for having me. It's awesome, and my family says hi as well.
I love the Volpe family. I think I might be more excited than Yankees fans to see what the season has in store for Anthony. When we return, we'll introduce you to a young man named Journey Leialoha. His name, as big as his game. You're not going to want to miss this one. This is Perfect Game Weekly, presented by Rawlings. Welcome back to Perfect Game Weekly, presented by Rawlings. About a month ago, we went down to Fort Myers, Florida for the World Showcase, and we had a detailed plan of everything we needed to get done within 2 days. And there are so many kids at these events, and I'd love to share every single story I come across, but that's not always possible. Unless you come across someone whose name is Journey Leialoha. We met Journey, I heard his story, and I couldn't wait to share it with you all. So let me introduce you to the 16-year-old first baseman from Hilo, Hawaii.
Journey Leialoha. So I'm from Hawaii, and the experience getting here was a long travel, about 12 hours in total to get here, and 4 different stops. Back at home in Hawaii, we don't get that much exposure and not that much scouts, so baseball in Hawaii, there's palm trees in the back, sometimes even beaches in the back. Not the best fields, and we need more Hawaii boys to come out to things like this to experience the mainland. My grandma's way to the hospital. Rest in peace, she passed away last year, but she was listening to the band Journey, and she's like, that's the perfect name, because I was on a long journey through my mom's stomach. And in Hawaiian culture, given our names, it's like a path for us, and we follow it. So Ola Meke Kupono means carefully through life. Leialoha means beloved child, so journey carefully through life, beloved child. Coming from Hawaii, it's hard to live there. Like, you have to pay a lot of money for land and the houses to live there. Like, it's hard, and it's not the best jobs for us. And we want to stay, but we need to get off the island to make a living for ourselves. We don't come from much. We have beaches and stuff, but that's what distracts us. I like to go surf. When you're surfing, it's like you're in your own world. There's nothing to worry about, nothing at all. And then when you drop down on a wave, there's only one thing you're focused on, and that's riding the wave. I found baseball going through church. Since I was 3 years old, I used to play with the church league team, and I just found out I was good at it, and then I found passion into it, and then I fell in love with the sport. I'd say my best qualities on the baseball field is just my fielding and my hitting, and staying consistent in the batter's box, and my work ethic. Colton Wong, his dad is my hitting coach, Kaha Wong. Met them many times. They come down to hold showcases and camps for us. What makes me proud to be from Hawaii is just being able to represent Hawaii and my family and my culture. I hope to just, make it big and just help the island boys in Hawaii to achieve past their goals and to dream big, and yeah.
I am so glad we stopped and said hi to Journey, and I'm so glad he shared his story with us. It's so inspiring to see a young man with such big dreams on the Big Island. No matter where his journey takes him, he's already made Hawaii very proud. And speaking of journeys, the most famous uncommitted athlete in the class of 2022, Termarr Johnson, gives us a hitting lesson when we return. This is Perfect Game Weekly, presented by Rawlings. We're celebrating here on Perfect Game Weekly because the start of high school season is just around the corner. And that includes the pride of Atlanta, Georgia, Termarr Johnson, who sits atop the rankings heading into his senior season. Let's go to hit school with the #1 man himself, Mays Raiders shortstop, Termarr Johnson.
Hey guys, this is Termarr Johnson, and this is how I do what I do. Well, first off, I feel like the game, hitting especially, is mental. Before I step in the plate, I just thank God for having me in this position, and, I just go up there and I just calm, play a song in my head, and I'm probably my back foot is right to the end of the plate. No matter how hard you're throwing, I'm right here. And I'm just calm. I'm here, trying to hit you in the head, low forward, low back, stay here. Right there. My swing is built on timing and balance. I have to stay basically here. Instead of being here or here, I have to stay here. So I try to this is very important to me. Try to rock forward. Then when I rock back, I'm all the way, and I pick my foot down, I'm all the way just right here. Giving my hips to the pitcher, just giving it to him. If I do this, then, I'm gonna miss some of the play, I'm gonna spin out, and it's not gonna be a good swing. It's timing. It's all timing. It's all timing. I try to just stay calm, just, have a little bit of movement right here. Everything's about rhythm and timing. Playing a song in my head, rhythm, timing, rhythm, timing. Walking on the street, talking to myself. And when I get here, I'm still calm. As soon as I lift my leg, I lower my hands. And as soon as I get my leg down, I'm ready to fire. I'm ready to go. Just keep my eye on the pitcher. I'm looking here, and I'm looking all the way through here. So I'm getting ready to hit it through here. I don't want to hit here, because then my eyes are going this way, and I'm only gonna do nothing but pull the ball. So I'm just trying to make sure I keep my hands on the pitcher, and I just stay here and make sure I get a good swing off.
While some of his classmates committed 5 years ago, Termarr's been taking his time making this decision, visiting college campuses, getting to know these coaches. And if there's one thing I know, it's that it's not just the athletics that are important to him, it's the academics as well. And we hear that there could be a decision made soon, and we'll let you in on a little secret. Whenever that decision is made, Perfect Game TV cameras will be there to bring you every second of the action. I believe that's what they call a tease in the business. That's going to do it for us here on Perfect Game Weekly. I told you it was going to be the most fun that you've ever had. I want to give a huge thank you to Anthony Volpe, Journey Leialoha, and of course Daron and the whole team down in Panama City Beach. Remember, head on over to Perfect Game TV for all things amateur baseball and softball, or better yet, download our mobile app and take us everywhere you go. That's going to do it for us. Thanks so much for watching. This has been Perfect Game Weekly, presented by Rawlings.